So it was all very custom. And it was really cool then to also be able to tie the mile marker and the bench together. They're the same color. The final product is just really high end. This project was for the Great Sauk State Trail, and I'm a member of the Friends of the Great Sauk State Trail, but also I'm the executive director for River Arts Inc. And we were named administrators of artwork along the trail. And artwork is public art, benches, the mile markers, anything that had a design element to it. We were sort of the clearinghouse of ideas, and so wearing my hat as the River Arts Inc. executive director, but then also a member of the Friends of the Great Sauk State Trail, I helped coordinate artwork and amenities for the trail. From the beginning, when there were discussions about the trail, they kept referring to it as a world-class trail. So that wasn't really necessarily a theme, but we knew that everything that we did needed to be high quality, unique, more than just the typical item you would see on a trail. We wanted to take it to the next level. And then as we continued discussions, we did want to focus on the beauty, the natural beauty of the area and the history of the area. So that did help in the design aspect a little bit. It is such a beautiful area. So it wasn't hard to find elements to pull from, but that's kind of where we started. I did a lot of research with the Hank Aaron State Trail in Milwaukee. It's a similar rails to trails. And Melissa over there with the DNR was very generous with her time, and she gave some really good advice about these are the things that are a must on a trail. And then when we brought it back locally, it was there's no hard rules to how many benches, or I'm also working on the interpretive signs with another group. There's no rules to that, so it was looking for the locations that made the most sense, and that's how we came up with 16 benches total for what we call phase 1 of this trail. It's a 3-phase project. Phase 1 is constructed already. We're working on phase 2, and so we'll get more benches for that phase. The mile markers, we knew we wanted at least one every mile, and then the support for the trail was so strong that we ended up wanting to go with the half-mile markers too. So we probably started planning just the benches alone at least a year ago. And we knew with all of the projects and items that we were finding, we wanted to stay local. It was important that we worked with Wisconsin companies. And so at first we were reaching out to manufacturers. And actually, Brian Weeks is from Prairie Du Sac and is with Madrax, and he was very passionate about the trail from the beginning, and he approached me, and I am so lucky that he did because the final product is gorgeous. We couldn't be more happy. But he approached me about a year ago, and we started looking at different bench options from a large catalog of types of benches available, and he was great about giving me feedback on what would be lowest maintenance, long lasting, just finding the right product, because he understood that part of it better than I did. I was all about the design, but it was really great to have the feedback and the help about what makes a good quality bench on a bike trail. And so he was also very helpful when I said I can't just pick a bench out of a catalog. I need something, that higher end element that I mentioned before. He said, yeah, no problem. We can custom make anything that you can dream of. So I started throwing different themes and different ideas at him, and he would send me back messages with some renderings, and that process took a little while. He was very patient with me. It wasn't the other way around. I put him to work, and we narrowed it down to the final design, and I made him work for it a little bit. Not because I didn't think the product was great, but it was a big decision, and working with any kind of government entity, you have to shop around and check out all the options. And it really came down to Brian's passion for it was obvious, and so I knew once we said yes to working with Madrax or Gripper Manufacturing that he would stay true to his word, and this would be a priority, and he would help me reach the goals that we were looking for, and that happened. Looking at budget too, I was able to work with Brian and find products that were actually more affordable than some of the competitors. So it kind of became a no-brainer that I'm getting a custom product that's the same quality or better for a lower price. So so that's kind of where the final decision was made, and that was through all of these committees, including the commission. Everybody weighed in on that and knew that it was the smart choice. Just really important that all the decisions and elements that were put on the trail were low maintenance and just easy to maintain for decades to come. I mean, the idea is that this trail will be the most used trail in the state of Wisconsin once it's all completed, all 3 phases. And so we needed some sturdy benches that would stand the test of time. So I love wood benches. I think they're beautiful, and those, likely would have lasted a long time as well. But it seemed that the metal benches would be less maintenance. The mile markers was a pretty cool discovery because it was looking through the catalog that I found bike racks. I think the shadow bike racks, I think is what they're technically called. And through that image, I thought, hey, I feel like this could be a really cool non-traditional mile marker. Most people expect the post with a number on it. And again, taking it to that next level, we thought, how could this be a little more artistic? So looking at the bike rack that Brian showed me, we elongated it. We custom designed what the image would be that projected that shadow, and settled on a crane and an eagle, which are both really prominent in this area. And so it was all very custom. And it was really cool then to also be able to tie the mile marker and the bench together. They're the same color. The final product is just really high end. I should mention one other thing because it takes it to the next step altogether that Brian didn't need to work on us with this, but he did, and that's our donor recognition plaques that are on each space. So not only did we customize the benches and the mile markers with the designs that we wanted, but we didn't go with a traditional shaped rectangle donor plaque. We had that design custom done, and he connected us with another company to actually get those produced, and those were installed, and I didn't even have to do any work other than giving him the list of names of our generous donors. So it was really great to kind of have a one-stop shop for all of these different elements to the work that we were doing. I definitely would recommend working with Gripper Manufacturing. And I think if you do, then you should push the company to get those custom ideas. I mean, why not think big? And it's kind of the luxury of going with a company where you can customize it a little bit to fit your needs and still get a good quality product at a good price.